Hi guys, today I'm going to read Dolphin Tale 2 because I love the book and I love the movie and I've even seen Winter in Real Life before. And also Hope, Nicholas, Hemingway, and PJ, Rex, and Rudy too. So, real quick, if you want to grab the book, if you have it, read along, and yeah. Splash! Mandy waded into the water and giggled as a school of tiny silver fish darted past her feet. "It's squishy," she called to her older brother, wiggling her toes in the wet sand. "There's little fish, Troy, come see." Troy stood out on the beach and saw his 6-year-old sister swinging a bucket in the distance. She had wandered past the end of the beach and was up to her knees in a muddy lagoon. "Mandy," he shouted, "you better come back. Mom's gonna be mad." Mandy ignored her brother and followed the little fish swimming around a bend. Troy hurried down the beach. He was 2 years older and knew his mom expected him to watch out for his little sister. If anything happened to her, he'd be in big trouble. When Troy got to the end of the beach, he trudged through the muddy shallows, annoyed. He reached down and scooped up a handful of mud to throw at his sister. Just as he was about to toss it, he heard Mandy gasp and drop her bucket. Mandy's eyes grew wide and her mouth stood agape. "What now?" he thought. He followed the direction of her stare and couldn't believe what he saw. A huge bottlenose dolphin was staring back at them. Kyle Connellan gripped the steering wheel as the Clearwater Marine Aquarium's truck bounced up and down on the Florida dirt road. He had to get the team to the lagoon, and fast. Within moments, the truck lurched to a stop, and the aquarium's emergency staff scrambled out. Kyle jumped out of the driver's side with ease. It had been several years since he injured his leg in the Army. Watching him move, no one would ever guess that he needed a brace to help him walk. He ran his hand along the side of the truck with CMA's logo and tagline, "Rescue, Rehabilitate, Release." Then opened the back door. Marine mammal specialist Phoebe, Kat, and Rebecca and his cousin Sawyer immediately started to load the stretcher with wet towels. Kyle took a second to look at his 15-year-old cousin Sawyer. He could still remember a time when Sawyer felt awkward and shy talking to anyone other than him and didn't know a thing about marine animals. It was only 4 years ago that Sawyer had found Winter, a wild dolphin with her tail caught in a crab trap. The few months after that had been life-changing for Sawyer and the dolphin. Winter's tail was so badly injured that it had to be amputated. With her tail, she could only swim by moving the back of her body from side to side. But since dolphins aren't built to swim that way, this caused major damage to her spine. The doctors didn't think she would make it. If it had been for Sawyer's crazy idea to ask the doctor who made Kyle's leg brace to make a prosthetic tail for Winter, the dolphin wouldn't have survived. It turned out that working with Winter and the other CMA staff, like the head of the animal hospital, Dr. Clay Haskett, and his daughter Hazel, helped Sawyer get over his shyness and made him excited about something for the first time in his life. Winter was able to save Sawyer just as much as he saved her, here Sawyer was rescuing a dolphin again, but this time he was confident, happy, and part of the CMA staff. I'm the youngest CMA staff member, Sawyer thought. Well, except for Hazel. When CMA staff arrived, the scene CMA 1307A was found struggling on the left side. Sawyer narrated on the television. Video footage played of Kyle, Phoebe, Kat, Rebecca, Sawyer, and Sawyer were running past Mandy, Troy, and their mom at the lagoon. Her blowhole was largely sunburned. She had small mucus coming out of her eyes, and was severely sunburned. A common problem with beach dolphins as their skin isn't adapted for prolonged exposure to the sun. Sawyer looked around at the room of CMA volunteers. He felt a little weird listening to his own voice describing the latest dolphin rescue over Hazel's video footage. The team suspected possible lung infection. Sawyer, the narrator, continued as the video showed the staff trying to lift the dolphin's blowhole out of the water, which led to her being disoriented, beaching. On screen, the dolphin failed and knocked Kat back into the muddy water. This dolphin was named Mandy after the little girl who found her, Sawyer said as the camera focused on Mandy. Troy and their mother now since doesn't know whether dolphins feel emotion the way we do. Fear, joy, sadness, but their brains are as complex as ours. And to us, Mandy seemed terrified. Sawyer remembered how the team worked together to gently remove Mandy into the stretcher. He heard himself describing it. It wasn't easy as the area was a mud flat. Mandy was 8.5 feet long and weighed about 350 pounds. Sawyer focused on watching the video and tried to ignore his voiceovers. He watched as he, Phoebe, and Kat gave Mandy fluids and antibiotics for her respiratory infection back at the aquarium, followed by Dr. Clay and Clay's father, Reed, spreading a topical ointment on her sunburn. Sawyer couldn't help but smile as the screen showed later footage of Mandy swimming in the medical pool. Since then, she's been gaining strength every day and is well on the road back to being a healthy animal. He heard himself conclude. The room of volunteers applaud as the film credits filled the screen. Directed by Hazel Haskett, cinematography by Hazel Haskett, edited by Hazel Haskett, Hazel H. Productions, all rights reserved. All right, everyone, Sawyer said, addressing the volunteers. Next session we'll go into the more detail about standings, marine animals that get stuck in shallow water or on beaches. Before we go, I just want to thank all of you for volunteering. You guys are what keeps CMA going. He struggled you and really big truckloads of fish. He smiled as the volunteers laughed. See you all Wednesday. Sawyer was gathering his papers and getting ready to leave when two girls around his age approached him. Hi, Sawyer? Said a girl with dark straight hair. Sawyer looked up, startled. Sorry, we just wanted to say thanks, said the girl, stumbling over her words. The reason we volunteered was 'cause we heard all about you in winter. All Susie ever talks about is dolphins," her friend said, jumping, "and she wants to be just like you." Susie felt her cheeks get hot. "I do not." The three were standing together awkwardly when Hazel poked her head into the door. "Sawyer, we're ready to—" She paused when she saw the two girls, starstruck girls who looked maybe a year older than her. "We're ready to start," she said, looking back at Sawyer casually. "Oh, right." Sawyer glanced from Hazel to the girls. "Excuse me," he said, shifting his papers with a slight blush. He headed out the door. And that was chapter 1. So I will get back with another video on chapter 2 later. Thanks for watching, and till next time, bye.